Hey, Captain. Welcome to Captain Finance, where we empower you to captain your finance. So, in today's video, we're looking at how do you buy back your time. Now, I'll show you how I'm making an extra 75 shillings a day and basically the model you should be following to do something similar. And before we do that, the goal of every side hustle, of every, job even, is to buy back your time. So capitalism at the moment has two models. First model is we work for money. Now, working for money is actually exchanging pieces of your life, which is measured in time, for money, which you use to sustain your life. It sort of feels like it's a self-defeating business model for your own life. But say, for example, you earn about 30,000 shillings. If we use a 30-day month, then that means a day of your life is worth 1,000 bob. Do you feel your life is worth more than 1,000 bob? If it is, keep watching. And remember, if you like my content, please like. It helps the YouTube algorithm push this to more of my friends and more of your friends. So, second model is have money work for you. And this is done by creating systems. Now, systems are, unlike human beings, don't get tired, can be leveraged, meaning they can do more with less. You can be able to multiply your results if you use a system. And let's check out the cash flow statement so that we can be able to look at exactly what I mean. Give me a sec. So this is a look at my finances and it's measured in rent. The reason I measured it in rent versus typical ways of measuring it is because you're paying rent right now. You're probably paying a mortgage either as well. So for it to be relatable for most of us, I used rent as the SI unit. So in this case, let me look down because I'm using the Excel. In this case, my income will be about 2.9 times my rent, but my passive income, which is for my business, and we'll get more into that later, and my portfolio income, remember there are three ways of earning. There's earned income, you exchange time for money. There's passive income where systems work for you, and there's portfolio income where you bought an asset that cash flows. So my total income comes to around 3.6 times my rent. And the most important part is my income minus my expenses is still a negative number, but that negative number is continuously reducing. Now let's look at the balance sheet. So the balance sheet just shows you assets, anything that puts money in your pocket, liabilities, anything that takes money out of your pocket. So in this case, I have two assets, which is my trading business and my referral business. Still related to trading, but my income is more passive. That's why it's a business and not just categorized as trading. So my liabilities, this is money that goes out, mostly from loans. And I've used the balance sheet slightly different from how it's recommended to be used. I've used the amounts that are flowing in and the amounts that are flowing out. The reason I do this versus using the actual value of my asset and the actual value of my liabilities is I don't think I'm going to write the whole amount of my debt and pay it in 1 month. Okay, not yet. So there's no point of me seeing that figure. Let me see what goes out of my pocket. Let me see what comes in. And it allows me to do the most important measure that I feel, which is net wealth. So net wealth is measured in months versus net worth, which is an opinion. Net worth is just assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. But at no point are you planning to sell all your assets. So if you're not planning to sell all your assets, net worth is worth less. So let's look at some of the analytics of my finances. It means I keep about negative 9.86 of my income. The goal is to increase it. I get to 0 and slightly higher. And then how much of my money works for me? About 18.31%. That's pretty good. It was 0 at the beginning of the year, so I'm doing pretty well. So how much of my taxes do I pay? About 23%. And how much goes to housing? About 51%. Now, the reason my housing is so high is because at the beginning of this year, when we decided to start figuring out our finances, we asked ourselves, do we want to move houses? And the answer was no. So two ways you can figure out your finances: increase your income, save the difference; reduce your expenses, save the difference; or combination of both, save the difference. So for us, we went with the first one, which was we actually went with the third one. We reduced our expenses as much as we were comfortable doing without compromising the lifestyle that we want to have. And then we went for the first option, which is increase our sources of income. The reason we chose this is because we're both entrepreneurial and we have the drive and the willingness to put in the time to create assets. So the other part is this that's in light orange. We're not really using it because, again, I'm using the balance sheet in the wrong way. So we're not going to really measure my asset returns. But the most important measure is what is my net worth? Wealth. So my net wealth is about 6 days, 0.2 times of a month. So it means my goal is to increase this to at least 1, so that my assets can cater for my expenses for a whole month. Now, when it comes to side hustles, before I go to side hustles, I just wanted to show you how my cash flow statement and my balance sheet relate. So my asset, which is my trading, cash flows into my portfolio income, and my business, which is another asset, cash flows into my passive income asset column. So just to show you how they relate, because most people use them separately. But anyway, so main part is my monthly expenses. As you can see on the Excel, my total monthly expenses come to around 39,000, which is about 3.9 times my rent. And even though this figure feels daunting, the part that you're supposed to care about is what is its monthly expense. So let's assume I take all my expenses and smash them into one, that they can be paid on a daily basis to make the math easier. So that would divide my total expenses by 30, translating to about 1,300. So on my trading and my business, my systems, both of them are measured in 20 days because they're both related to trading. So my income from my active trading, which is need to be in front of our screen to actually trade, is about 250. But the most important part is the business income. And the reason it's the most important part is because we created a system. The amount of time that I put into this business is about 15 minutes a week. Even if you're going to divide that, however you're going to divide that, that's really, really cool. So it's leveraged income. It's not exactly passive, but the amount of time that it takes in a week for me to set it up and forget it is really awesome. So what I've created is a minimum viable product. It means it has the functionalities that my early adopters would be interested in. And based on their feedback, I will continuously improve it. And the most important part, leverage it. I am able to do more with less because now, since it's a system, I'm working on my business instead of in my business. And that's the difference. Now, this allows me to leverage it higher. So over the coming months, I should be able to surpass my daily expenses just using the business income. But this is going to be progressive. So it won't be immediate, but it'll be progressive. So let's hop on back to the presentation. So Maxwell Maltz said, often the difference between a successful person and a failure is not that one has better abilities or ideas, but the courage that one has to bet on one's ideas, to take calculated risk and act. Meaning the only difference between this version of yourself presently and the version of yourself that's more successful than you is that they are willing and courageous enough to take action on the ideas that are in your head. So Remember to subscribe and let's grow together. Because again, this is a journey. This is not something that you start once and it blows up. It's something that will take time, but as you do it, you will progress. It will get easier as you continuously do it. So let me know we're together. Just give me something in the description, in the comments below, and let's see you in the next one.